This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios. Oh, but temporarily in the Pittsburgh, PA. Sure. I am fresh off a plane, but also with me, and he's fresh off of just kind of being in the area. He's John Chichilla, the tech extraordinaire at Big Bang International Esquire. My words are not going to work today, by the way. This is how you doing,
okay.
Chilla?
I'm used to this part of the show, so I'm good. How are you?
Yes. Oh, man. Extra special brain mush for today. This is literally the only evening I'm here. And also with me, hot off the plane from Music City, Nashville, she is now Baja photographer extraordinaire, Katie Dudders. The Dudders is with us.
And Dolly superfan.
Oh, man, we're going to talk about Dollywood here in a little bit. But and that's why, because we took an extra day. We say, we're going to go to Dollywood. We're so close. By so close means a 2-hour drive away. But still, it was a heck of an experience, right, Katie? We'll get into it, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's closer than Pittsburgh close.
What's that?
I said it's closer than Pittsburgh close.
What do you mean it's closer than Pittsburgh close?
You were closer than having to drive all the way from Pittsburgh.
That is true. It was 2 hours instead of like 10 hours. Anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. Please check out everything at AwesomeCast.com. Hit us up on the email, AwesomeCast@sorgatronmedia.com, AwesomeCast on the Twitter. And, of course, we have great conversations over the Facebook page. The Facebook group, as well as over the AwesomeCast Discord and Reddit. And, of course, you subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app. And we are live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch for Sorgatron Media. And I got just about all the chat rooms up, I think. I'm still, hold on. We'll get where there you are, Facebook. Hello, Facebook people. Hello, Dave Podner. Sure and live from the streets. What's up, Brian Crawford out there watching as well. Everybody else hanging out. Thank you so much for joining us on this evening. Hanging out with our friends here today. And, of course, thank you to our audio partners at postindustrial.com sharing the awesomeness. And a big shout-out to our friends at patreon.com/awesomecast. Everybody that is supporting the show. Our friends, the executive producer, Brian Crawford, as well as the Coffee Club friends, Matt Weller, John Carmen, Cynthia Clossie, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound. And at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Podner. You guys can support the show, too. Sometimes we roll some extra content out there over at patreon.com/awesomecast. Chilla, I'm going to let you kick us off with some non-Dolly news.
Yeah, mine is not Dollywood.
I say not Dollywood, not pizza is your headline over here. What's going on?
So I'll tell you, and mine's going to be probably a two-parter. Mm-hmm. My awesome thing of the week is the Jabra Panicast 20. Okay. It is a webcam that goes on top of your monitor, your laptop, your whatever. And I will say, I don't own this device. Well, I guess technically now I own it because I ordered one. But
you're in mid ownership.
I'm in mid ownership, but I was talking to someone, mm-hmm. and the fluid pan as they moved their head like left to right, and the way like they leaned back in their chair and like the camera panned in and then they kind of leaned forward, just having a normal conversation like you would at a desk or whatnot. It was like they had a cameraman like working with them on the other side of wherever they were. It was pretty impressive. I would say it was not as smooth as you would pan, Sorg, but it was pretty...
Oh, have you seen my pan hand? I don't know about that.
for the and the video quality was good. And then, I started reading about the device, and it can do an automatic picture-in-picture, right? Like if I was holding something up and talking about it here, it would automatically fill the frame with that and put me small down underneath.
Okay.
Like some of the really cool tech that's just built into the camera, I just had to have one. I'm interested to see like how much is driver based, how much of stuff is cross-platform. The nice thing that I thought about was the shutter is integrated.
Okay.
So if like there's actually like a little toggle like switch on the bottom, where it will actually the shutter actually slides on the on the inside. Just super nice to me, well crafted device, and it comes with a carrying case.
Whoa.
Which you don't like a lot of times you don't normally get. I do take a webcam with me when I'm going places a lot of times because I want a really good high quality picture. But this comes with the case. Like even for my headset for work, I actually had to go out and buy a case for that because it came with like this flimsy case that wasn't like a hard shell for your backpack type thing. So I picked one of these up. They are minorly on sale, I think.
They're really pushing this AI and an extra chip and everything in it, so I'm kind of curious on the cost on this one.
$316.
So, I mean,
is
for
price.
serious zooming, I guess. It's probably not so bad, right? So you got for what does it say, $315, $316 over on Amazon right now.
Yep, and it usually retails for $330.
That's a Jabra Pancast 20. Jabra Pancast 20. Panicast, I'm sorry, 20. So you got it on the way. So is this what's going to be? Is this how you're going to be coming at us?
I'm hoping next week. This is how I will be coming at you.
Okay, all right. That means you got to move around a little bit and see how it works, right?
Yep. And it's funny because I got a demo unit of another camera that touts AI. So maybe we'll do like this week in Chilla's webcam. And I will tell you what webcam I'm using each week, and then after we've reviewed them all, I'll quiz you guys on which one you think I'm using in the next.
I like this as I like this as a multi-part series situation.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like to me, I don't want crap camera quality, and you would. The funny part is, I can't. Oh, because you do Zoom, I might be able to. I should come in from like my work laptop camera. It looks like someone rubbed Vaseline all over.
Oh, love this. You have one of those. I don't want to computer shame, but do you have like one of those kind of ThinkPad situations?
No, I actually have a Dell.
Oh, okay.
It is a Dell, and the camera. And the funny part is, I've narrowed it down to something is wrong with my device. Because I was talking to someone else at work about the camera quality, and they're like, which device do you have? I'm like, I have the Dell, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, that's what I have. And mine looks nothing like that. Look. And they turn on their camera, and it was like perfectly crystal clear. It wasn't like super high resolution, but it didn't look all
it was
like it
clear.
literally looks like there's fog on the inside of the lens. So, but yeah, so I have this other AI camera that's supposed to be the equivalent of the Brio, but better. It actually comes with a calibration card. So you actually, it requires the driver to do this, but you get in the location that you're going to be communicating from, and you fire up their app, and you hold up this card that comes with it, and it will auto calibrate the color based on the lighting in the room. So I thought that neat, cool concept. They even offer for purchasing it, you have a 30-minute setup tutorial with an online consultant, which I thought was pretty
that is hard. That is some hardcore webcamming there. Jeez.
Yeah. So, and then I have a meetup device. Yeah, I have a handful of devices. Maybe we'll talk about them over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I like
But
this.
we'll start. Hopefully, we'll start with this Panicast.
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably be all downhill from there. But
Yeah.
we'll start with the Panicast.
We should reverse order. Hey, yeah, maybe. No, I'm looking forward to that. I want to see how that turns
And
out.
I can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Panicast line, this is the Panicast 20.
Yeah.
In the Panicast line is like one of those 180-degree cameras.
Mm-hmm.
It's 180-degree 4K video, so that's meant to, like, you could get the whole side of a conference room table long ways, and pull a lot of people in there. I can't. That's like $1,000.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And you already have for this you're using a 4K camera, right?
I am using a 4K.
Now, of course, that's going through Zoom and then through a computer and then through a switcher over here. So, like, you have a lot of generations of that. So, we're obviously not getting a full 4K out of this when it comes through. I mean, how we broadcast this thing at 720,
Which and that's fine. Like I said, it allows you to do, or anyone to do, whatever they need to do. I look at it. If I come in at higher quality, I'll give you the best I can give you.
Mm-hmm.
And wherever it scales from there, cool, right? Like if we're all Brady bunched, right, on a Zoom call, who cares if I'm 4K? If I'm on a 2x2 screen or a 2x2 square on the screen.
Yeah.
But to me, it gives the opportunity. Like, I don't ever, right now, I really don't plan on, other than this cool AI thing. I would never get rid of my Brio. Like that, I pack my Brio up. Like, I take my Brio everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And this may be my new Brio. And it's also nice because if Christopher and I want to do something and we want to have separate webcams, this gives us a secondary webcam to mess around with.
I like it. All right, Jabra Panicast 20. And that's $316 over on Amazon right now, if you want to check that out. Cool. Well, here's something a little, I don't know, earthy. There was a lot of technology, actually, Katie. We went to Dollywood this weekend.
We did.
And because we happened to be, of course, we were down in the Tennessee area with our friends at Baja SAE. And I don't know if, Katie, you want to maybe later talk about a little bit of that experience as well. So
all the things.
It was something. But I got to say, we just decided on a whim to do this. We saw some friends in wrestling were recently there and did their little video blog. Did not watch the video blog, but I kind of wanted to surprise myself. And holy crap, was this a place. We rode 7 roller coasters, Raising Rapids, a coal powered steam engine from, like, what, I don't know, 18 something maybe. I think they said it was in operation during World War II. And Katie, you the roller coasters to begin with were surprising. I think you said, right?
Well, we didn't know what was going in because I think I just casually mentioned we should go to Dollywood, and we had no idea where Dollywood was. In the whole scheme of Tennessee, we pulled a whole, like, Pittsburgh, Philly thing where like, oh, the cities are right next to each other, and they're not. And but we went there. Now, we purposefully did not do any sort of research. We purposefully went into this, like, knowing as little as possible. And, like, the roller coasters were phenomenal. There was, every single one of them had some amazingly unique feature that I haven't seen on another ride before. And I just keep saying she because Dolly runs the whole thing.
Dolly is very sneaky.
She hides things, and, like, you would see the hill, the climbing hill, and then that would be it. And then you had no idea what the rest of the ride looked like until you were on it, and you're like, oh, shoot. No, it was much more sweary than I will be on the show. But there was a lot of swears because it was like, what is this now? What is this? And it was so much fun, but it was just like, what is this now? But yeah, the roller coasters were phenomenal.
I would have never thought, like, Dollywood, the place I go for roller coasters.
Exactly.
I picture, like, a bunch of stage, stages with a bunch of country music and like, I don't know.
And there was that. There was country music, and there were flowers. It was the. Now look at this. This is the lightning rod where the video. This is in the app. We'll get into the app. This is a magnetic thing, and we never saw the rest of this track until we went over the first. We had no idea how big this wooden roller coaster was, and it just shoots you 75 miles an hour, and it was just tremendous. That's the kind of stuff, right? Where and I think we went backwards, more or less around, so we never saw the front of any rides, and then didn't realize how much of the ride there was.
Surprise! But it was the roller coasters. I never would have guessed. And like we have friends that are they're huge into amusement parks, and definitely this was best coasters I've ridden on, and they were so much fun. And line maintenance was line just like the lines were so manageable. Management, there we go. Were great. It was great. Park was clean. It was fun. It wasn't like Dolly. I mean, like the stores and stuff had a lot of Dolly. And honestly, I don't even should we even get into the fact that like I like Dolly as a human, and I'm not a big Dolly Parton fan, and I left total Dolly stan. And I just wanted to give Dolly all my money.
Yeah. I felt like I should have dragged you out of some of those merch shops a little earlier than I did.
Hey, it's my money. I can spend it on.
That is true. I'm just like, oh, she's an adult. There she goes. But anyways, it was tremendous. And the biggest thing that helped was the app. I've never been. Listen, I haven't done like anything but Kennywood in like, I don't know, like 15 years at this point, right? Like let's go to Kennywood, and it has what it has, and it's got some bigger coasters now, but it's not a lot. You go for the wood coasters; they're old, they're rickety, they're bumpy, and that's it. I haven't done
the
Cedar
nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly. Like I haven't done like Cedar Point or anything, a big roller coaster place for like 20 years probably at this point, right? So it was like. It was a lot, and it was every loop kind of roller coaster you could think of. There was this thing called an Eagle, but again, like the app was super great because you could get in here, and like as you get in, like it has all the ride times and everything. You can't see it now because we're not on location, but like if we pulled up, like say the lightning rod that we're just looking at, it would have the time. Actually, they're probably closed by now because they realize what time it is. They would have like the wait time for any of the roller coasters, a lot of the other attractions if they have anything for lines or anything like that. And now
directions. Like if you wanted to go to a specific location, you just clicked on it and it would tell you how to get there.
Yeah, and you just follow a little path. You just follow the path. It would pop up. I think you did it by accident one time.
I was like,
But again, like we had a nice loopy coaster with the Tennessee Tornado. We had this thing called the Fire Chase Express, which was kind of it was steel coaster, but not like a loopy steel coaster. But there was a point where you pulled up to a room with fireworks in it, and fire goes off, and then you're backwards through the rest of the ride. Like things like that. Again, like you said, never seen that stuff before. The Mystery Mine. Tell them about the Mystery Mine.
Oh, I don't want to give the whole thing away because I feel like anybody now you have to go Dollywood. We've talked about it so much now you all have to go. But like the Mystery Mine was, first of all, you were like, why are they upside down in the picture? Because the thing's not upside down, and we learned that there was an upside down part. It's part dark ride, part outdoor roller coaster, and it was like straight up, straight down. Like not even like it's straight up, straight down. Like at points. It was unreal. Like I think we just were like one thing after another. We were just shocked. I think one of the coolest thing was it was like a lot of the folks that were there weren't folks that had been to Dollywood because you could hear them all reacting the way we were reacting. Like, oh, what was that? Did you see this? That was like this, and like, which was really cool too because it was like we were all kind of experiencing this together.
No, absolutely. There was a lot of like, what? Wait, what? This ride's going to do
Yeah.
what now? Oh, that's a lot of loops that we didn't see until we went up the first hill, right? They have, and I love what was what's the eagle one that, the Wild Eagle. And this is one of those, it's kind of like that Raptor, not an inverted coaster, but your feet are dangling and the track is actually like there's two seats and then like the track and then like two other seats. So it's like, you're like the outside roller coaster kind of thing. And what would say that there's you can get your T-shirt that you rode the Wild Eagle, or you can get the I'm a Chicken T-shirt. So
I've got something for everybody. And that was the first time we saw the sign about your Apple Watch.
oh yeah, that was interesting. So we get on that one, and I think the lightning rod had that too. It let me see if I can pull up the sign, and here it is for you guys on video. And so I make sure I got what this is. Cell phones and other devices should not be brought aboard any attraction. Due to the dynamic movement you will experience on this ride, Apple Watches and similar devices may activate their emergency call function. Please prevent your device from making unintended 911 calls. Please turn it off or enable airplane mode. So, and we only saw this on 2 of the roller coasters. So I don't know if because they were the most extreme ones that we were on, but it just. Again, I don't think I've been to a theme park of this level since the Apple Watch was a thing everybody had on their wrist, right? So it was,
And I mean, I just was at Disney recently, and there was nothing like this.
no, but are there really extreme movement rides there? Like, there's some coasters and stuff, right? But it's really more thematic, right?
Yeah, well, Space Mountain and stuff like that.
Sure.
How many 911 calls were issued from the time that the first one was made till that sign got put up?
Yeah, exactly. that means they had to, definitely had to do that. Here's a quick look at the Wild Eagle ride as we're going up.
As a innocent bystander or Twitter user, when you posted that picture, I'm like, wait a minute, because like the track is like double or triple. Like, what are the areas coming off of the track at the beginning before you go up? For a moment, I'm like, does that like go up and then like?
No, it's just roller coaster. So.
But it's weird because like the way that the underneath looks, and then you go over that hill, and it's just like that little bar.
Oh, those are it's just that little bar for the rest of it. Those are just stairs. Those are your emergency exit stairs. That you're seeing.
I guess if you need an emergency exit after that, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. you're just done, basically. But yeah, it was. I'm just still flabbergasted with a lot of what we saw there. Like I said, 7 roller coasters really kind of tested my stomach.
So from May until early October of 2021. The county that Dollywood is in received nearly 16,000 accidental 911 calls. Of those, 60%, so nearly 10,000 of those calls, came from amusement park rides.
So, I'm seeing a lot of the coasters. Did they have because coasters? I'm fine with coasters. I can do coasters all day long. I think I finally reached the age where I can only do like 1 or 2 spinny rides.
I don't think we did any spinny rides, did we?
That's what I was wondering. Is there any? Is there any spinny rides there, or is it just coasters?
Oh yeah, there's a whole there's scramblers and things like that. Like there's like a whole section where it's just like stuff you would see at Kennywood, right? Like there's the the dragon boat pirate ship kind of thing that they rebranded some like the Dragonfly or something. Well, the Dragonfly was actually the coaster. But stuff like that, and also like there were play areas in like a lot of places, and we both were walking around saying, "This is like this is clean. This is like well thought out." Like Katie kept saying, throughout the thing, like it wasn't, like it was a really interesting experience. Also, no alcohol, so that probably added to it.
We didn't even tell Chilla about the butterflies.
The butterflies. Yeah, I was going to pull that up actually here in a second. The first random thing we walked into, what was that? The butterfly garden or something?
Yeah.
And there it is. It was an interactive motion thing where you put your hand up towards the screen and the butterflies will gather.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're like little butterflies. Like you would stand there, they would tell you like the like little butterfly angel. You put your arms out and they come land on your head and your shoulders. It's cool.
That is super cool.
So it was a nice little thing. But yeah, yeah. The first thing we go into the Dollywood, I think were we expecting like oh, it's going to be like a garden with butterflies and it's going to be like a botanical garden kind of situation, and then it was like, oh no, it's just like video screen. I'm like, oh.
That's what I pictured. I pictured like Phipps Conservatory butterfly forest.
Yeah.
Especially since we're walking around and there's all these like great flowers and everything because there's spring festival and everything. So, no, it was pretty great. I had, and then of course like Big Dolly and and you're not inundated with like Dolly music all day too. Like you got some good like, and you're in the Smoky Mountains, which are tremendous by the way. And I say the terrain of this thing is great, and the hills aren't even that bad, right? You're not climbing a lot of crazy stuff, you know, the way it's laid out. But again, like a lot of the, like you don't see just like, you know, you Cedar Point, you can see all the roller coasters. Like if you get, you know, up on a platform, up you know, on a little higher ride, you just like see everything. Again, you see the entrance to every roller coaster, and that's about it, right? I mean, the biggest thing was taking that train ride that Katie wanted to at the beginning, that they only did like I think once an hour, right? And that gave us a nice little like tour of the place too, and you know, having them talk about it and some of the coasters that were out there and everything. So it's not, again, I never would have thought to go to this thing on my own, you know, and it turned out to be like an amazing experience. But
so 10 out of 10, recommend Dollywood.
Yes, recommend Dollywood.
Lots of kids stuff, Chilla. Like it wasn't even like this is the kids area. I mean, there was a section with kids rides and the games, Chilla. The games, the prizes were like Mario, Luigi, Goombas, and then Pikachu, Charizard. Like my nephew would have lost his mind. Like I don't think we would have gotten him out of the section.
What would you say? The funny part is Christopher is I just measured him last night. For an 8-year-old in second grade, he's 4'9". So I'm wondering, like, I wonder if online or if I download the map, will it tell me what the minimum height is for each ride? Like, I'm guessing he's probably tall enough.
Right here, Smoky Mountain Rampage, under 48 inches, must be accompanied by someone 16 or older. And then there's actually, and I've never seen this before, there's actually a station at the beginning to measure the height of your child, so they get a wristband. And I think I think were they color coded at the entrances to a lot of the rides, Katie? I think they were.
I think they were.
Like at the measurement station, it was like this is this color one, and that means you can ride it or you can't if you have this if you have this wristband, right?
I think they did that at Hershey Park.
Okay. I imagine a lot of places are doing it these days. Hershey's another one I've never been to either. So
that was way more roller coaster, lots to do.
Yeah.
We went in at an odd time. Like I think we went over like Labor Day weekend, when you would think like it would be like that last weekend, like where the park's in like full force. And this was prior to COVID. They were completely understaffed due to college kids and high school kids returning to school.
Oh.
So they were like, there were a lot of rides closed, but the park's ginormous. Yeah. Very nice. Highly recommend going back. They have the same thing. I don't think they had the wait times, but they had a map on your phone. Like there's a whole app. But no, highly recommend that. And they had some.
I have to
cool
look
stuff.
at now. I want to do more roller coasters. It's been so long, and I forgot how much fun it was. And the things that come out of Dutter's mouth when you are mid roller coaster are interesting.
Yeah, I swear a lot. I'm afraid of heights, and it comes out and swears on hills. And I can control it when there's kids around. I'll come up with creative swears or balls is what I usually say. But a couple of times bigger words slipped out. And I'm looking, okay, so we talked about like how the staff was just phenomenal. Like every ride operator was great. Everybody walking around was great. And I just kind of Googled real quick to see like how much Dolly pays, the ride operators. And it's like $10 to $12 per hour.
It's not bad.
The average is $11 per hour for the ride operators, which is, I'm sure, more than a lot of places that will try to get by on minimum wage. I mean, I don't know what Tennessee's minimum wage is either, but like I think that's now I'm looking that up. But yeah, it seemed like everybody really enjoyed their jobs and
Yeah, I don't know, it's because we're the beginning of the season and it wasn't super packed and
Yeah.
I mean we were walking right up on some of the roller coasters. I think the longest wait we had was like 20 minutes. So
yeah, it was like let's see, it was like it's $7.25 right now for minimum wage.
I also just downloaded the Hershey Park app, and now I was going to start investigating. Actually, this is interesting. This looks a lot like the Dolly app, right?
Maybe there's just like a park.
Yeah.
Park app.
Okay, it's got a little bit going on here. Okay. Now I'm exploring Hershey Park. Hey, Katie, remember when we were talking before about how we loved park maps?
Yes.
I'm just going to download a bunch of theme park apps, and does Cedar Point have an app? I'm sure they do at this point, right?
Oh yeah, they have to.
Oh boy. So listen, we're all going to go, and you know how often I pass Cedar Point on all of my gigs, and also shocked at how cheap it is. Katie was showing me that. It's like what, cheaper than Kennywood? I don't even know how
really?
It's possible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of days.
What are you doing, Kennywood? Like you're, I don't get it. I don't get it. Nope. Don't call 911. Hold on a second. I almost had an incident there. Well, before I get into more trouble here, let's give a shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway. SliceOnBroadway.com. New York City style yins are made. 4 locations: Beechview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills. I even fret. I was really craving some pizza over the weekend, and I fret getting the local pizza because I'm so spoiled by the goodness that is Slice on Broadway. So go check them out, SliceOnBroadway.com here in the Pittsburgh area, and thank you to them for supporting the shows for well over a decade. Okay, so Katie, did you want to talk about Baja since you got to experience that? This is an engineering competition. I know I've talked about it on the show before. We're in between. She's going to Aero and I'm going to Formula competitions. We're splitting the team up after the last couple months working together.
Chill. They're like these Baja are like vehicles. Like they're building like what would be an equivalent? Like not a.
It's like a go-kart size.
Go-kart, yeah. Vehicles that these students are building, and they do different. They'll check them out. They'll do brake tests. They'll do an acceleration test. They'll also like put them through what I think the most exciting part was the endurance test or endurance race. Mm-hmm. And so they put all these vehicles that have passed all these different tests to begin with, and they go for 4 hours around this track. And this track is like up hills, like rocky hills, down dirt, over into the creek. It's all over the place. And this was like 1.72 miles, I think. Was that right? About right? And
yeah, something like 1.2 something. Yeah.
No, maybe it was 1.27. It's something that was a 7.
And there's something like 70 cars, I think, went out for the race this year. I didn't get the final number, but I know there was like something about 80 some that arrived, and of course, not all of them passed tech or anything like that. And it's the only part of the event. It's the only event that's a wheel to wheel, not a race. It's more just a lapping kind of exercise. This is the thing I've been doing since 2016, and at the facility where I first got to do it too, at Tennessee Tech, and this is the agriculture facility. So when they're going out for endurance, like that's farmland, mm-hmm. And we were actually having to dodge some cow patties for a little bit there.
Are they all gas powered?
Yeah, these ones are, yes.
Mm-hmm.
When we get into the formula competition that we're doing this week up at the Michigan Speedway, I think this one they are all gas powered, but there are some electric powered when we come back in June. I think they'll do some of those. Will be that.
Super cool.
Yeah, so it's a really, really interesting event, and they do the sled pull, they do S&T. This is the arena thing. So we actually had a lightning shutdown. And they have this arena for the agriculture thing, and they set up like the maneuverability course, and they wouldn't let anybody go out, but they had a bunch lined up in the building. So now you have like the biggest crowd, and they were just running the maneuverability course, and it was really cool because you don't get like an indoor crowd cheering and reacting. And of course, all these kids in the stands belonged to other teams. So if somebody does something, good or bad, they know what's going on and what they've accomplished there. You know what I mean? So that was a really, really cool thing to see. And we're really close on the one side by the barrier. But no, it's one of my favorite events that I get to do every year. And thankfully, we're back to full force, and we'll be doing it 3 times a year now, just like we used to. So I think we only ended up doing 2 last year post-COVID. But we'll be going to Rochester next month, and then I think in the fall we'll be going to Tucson, Arizona once again. That place where all the plants were trying to kill me. You remember, Chilla?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, and if you're going to Dudders, are you going with them to Rochester?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go to the dinosaur barbecue place.
Actually, Dinosaur Barbecue typically will cater the event. They bring it to us, Chilla.
Because I know they cater for the school on certain days of the week.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a food truck that shows up, so I highly recommend.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You got some connections with RIT, don't you?
Yes. I haven't been there. I haven't been there since pre-COVID, but
yeah. I remember we were talking about it. So yeah, it is. It's got a pretty interesting setup, and we can't wait for Katie to see that. The award ceremony will not be in a tent, for instance.
Ooh, that's exciting.
An actual facility.
Not backlit in a tent.
No. Difficult. Definitely some difficult environments. Baja is a challenge. Baja is an interesting challenge, isn't it? So, and actually, there's
for everyone
a little bit of emotion.
involved.
Yeah, for everybody involved. Oh, this guy that was defying gravity, rolling around this thing.
Chilla, Podner said in the chat that they're Briggs and Stratton engines.
Yes. Yeah, they're. I think they said they're basically the same kind of engine that's like running a lawnmower. They're running these things. So, and I think they're looking to upgrade the engine. But yeah, they have to build around this. There's specs and rolls that they have to build around on everything. So it's pretty cool. But yep. So that's Baja, and there'll be some imagery. We're live streaming the awards ceremony, and of course we do highlight videos and stuff. If you look up Baja SAE, and you can see highlights from the last several years. I've been doing the highlight videos since 2016. That's basically what we're there to do. Between that and photos and what Katie was doing, and now we stream the awards ceremony, and we keep talking about maybe streaming some more in the future. And conversations keep happening. So I would love now I'm put out in the universe, because apparently I put things out in the universe and they tend to happen these days. But I would love to produce a full streaming Baja SAE event. I think a lot of people would love it. I think it would get a lot of eyeballs, from the engineers to the schools to just motorsports enthusiasts, and I would love the logistical challenge of trying to cover an entire course like this. We did it with Auto Drive last year. That was really interesting, but that was a course with a lot of technology integrated. But yeah, it's going to be really, really. Hopefully that will happen in the future. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, and Katie, you're going to Aero again. You're going to be going to Fort Worth and seeing, just like you did about a month ago, right?
Yeah, I'm back out there and taking pictures of planes.
There you go. There you go, and get some Texas barbecue. So, Doug, make sure you get give Katie some Fort Worth area barbecue recommendations, please. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, excellent. So, I think some other stuff happened this week, Chilla. Is there a Google thing that happened?
I did not watch the Google thing.
Nobody cares about it anymore. Nobody cares. What are you doing, Google? Like you show me cool stuff, and I don't believe you at this point.
Well, so here's the Google problem. I agree with you. So the AR so I read some of the articles. I did not sit down and watch the whole event.
I looked at the translating glasses. The
translated glasses look really cool.
Yeah.
But like, what's the chances of them coming out in like short run, and then people buy them, and then 2 years later, well.
Yeah,
on.
I don't trust it, right? Because like the Google Glass it's not usable anymore. I mean, I guess it's kind of a long tail, but it's such a cool. They're really good about demonstrating what these can do, and supposedly these are people that are testing. Like the lady they have in the video, I think her mother like knows Mandarin, not a lot of English. She has not picked up on Mandarin. And what is it right there? It's like I understand her, but I can't answer her. So they're using the glasses, and it translates right there on the glass, like that Google Glass style, right? As you're just talking. I mean, if you've ever used the app before, when you're translating back and forth, and it's just on your face, so you can look at each other, having the conversation, and it's that. It's the next step towards that universal translator, isn't it? Right? Like, and I just like between like, family members or things like that, I would just love going through a neighborhood, like this neighborhood where there are multiple languages being spoken and that, or a Chinatown or something, and being able to process that, or you visit another country, but like even just this, and sign language is worked into this as well. That's incredible. But again, I don't, will it happen for the rest of us is the question. There's no cost that I saw on any of these articles or anything like that. It's really just like, hey, this is in the works, and there you go. So
It's free.
It's free. Oh, it's free. It's free glasses.
Free.
That free visual
why not?
glasses. I mean, it's basically the Google Glass concept, right? But in the glasses, which is one thing we were waiting for. And by the way, those look like regular glasses, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it didn't have the big bulge thing that, like, I expected more to it than what we were getting out of those glasses. They don't look much bigger. They're a little thicker, probably, but, like, they don't look like more than kind of a style, don't they? They look, Chilla, that could be your glasses you're wearing right now.
It could be. From the looks of them, it definitely could be. I mean, even the Google Glass glasses didn't end up getting the ones that you could put, like, lenses in, and used them a couple for a while. But no, those look like just authentic glasses. The thing I'd be interested in, so my prescription, I require a very thick lens. Like, are they going to be able to? How's the prescription going to work alongside it, or is it for those with perfect vision or that wear contacts?
Right.
Like, I'll wear contacts when I go to the beach because I don't have a pair of sunglasses because it's
and it's like
sunny in Pittsburgh 20 days a year. So.
Exactly, right. So or is it like I need my talking glasses on? It's kind of situation there. So I don't know. It's man, I like the early days of Google when we were just so full of promise, and they're going to change the world, and they did. To be fair, they did. But this whole it just what's the last product that really kind of panned out for them, right? Like, I feel like everything's an experiment, and then half of them go away. Most of them go away. I don't know what's left. Gmail is the last life-changing product that's still around, right?
Meet's newer. Hangouts is gone.
Android?
Or is it?
Android. I guess technically Android. Android would be the last one. But how much are they innovating on that, right? I mean, they do have...
they're coming out with a tablet. That was the other... So that was the one interesting thing that I saw. That they announced... And what surprised me was, A, it's not coming out till next year. But they're going to come out with a tablet that runs Android, not Chrome. Like, remember the...
Yeah.
What was it the Pixel?
There's also, like, nothing for Chrome. Like, it feels like they're barely doing anything. The Neverware stuff, the cloud-ready OS that you can throw on stuff, that's progressing. And there's a new version of that. That's like the next step. I forget what it's called. But because I was throwing some of that old Neverware cloud ready on a couple of old computers, like my 2005. By the way, my 2007 iMac runs tremendous with Google, with Chrome OS. But but that, like, that's it. That's all they got, right? So I don't know what they're doing. So selling into something. Plus, I think they got a lot of internal stuff they're working out right now too, from the sounds of things. So, I don't know. Oh well, we got Pixel 7. We got a Pixel Watch. Did you see any of the Pixel Watch? Are we excited about that? So you don't want to jump on it, right? Because where's it gonna go? Is it gonna be a thing? I just, man, I'm so.
I'll be honest with you. Look, I've used, and I don't mean like long term used, but I've used for like a couple weeks or a month. I've used the Samsung, an older Samsung watch that ties in. What's this one? The Motorola. Oh, this is the Motorola. The Motorola that ran like Google's OS. Like I've used them on and off, and I don't know. I'm not that impressed with them. Like the thickness, they're getting better, but the customization was cool. Some of like the ways you could do the watch face and like all kinds of bells and whistles that you could tack on, but then the battery life just. So I don't know, and everyone seems to have their own watch thing. Like Samsung doesn't run Chrome.
No.
Or Android. It runs their own thing. So I don't know, that it's still fragmented. I know they took a knock at Apple about not building RCS into the platform.
Oh, whatever.
Messaging but it's just.
Because
I feel like every year they come out with something cool, but they're still just not hitting the basics.
No, there's that disconnect between the consumer side, right, and building things. Like it's still just a bunch of engineers that don't know how people actually use things. You know.
Yeah, and like I got. I think it's on the other side of the room. I needed to test.
See, if you had the
Android.
AI camera, that would have followed you wherever the hell you just went, right? I mean.
But I picked up one of their tablets because I need to test a bunch of stuff, and it's a Samsung tablet, and just the battery life is abysmal at best.
Yep. Well, I don't even know, man. I miss old Google. I'm sure they're doing great. Actually, I think they're definitely doing great, aren't they?
Don't get me wrong. They're not going under tomorrow.
No, they're not going anywhere. I'm good with it. I love my Google Docs, and I live in Google Docs, and like Katie was writing something, on her laptop on the way to the airport, and now I deployed that to my photographer for this week and videographer for this week. Like it's great for sharing and all that kind of stuff. And the Gmail, I couldn't live without that at this point. I'm locked in. I'm locked into all that stuff. Like Google's got me, but they're not getting more of me, right? So
until you run out of space, then you'll need to pay for more.
Until you run out of space. Oh, I've been battling that for a bit. So, maybe I don't need to put this 30 gigabyte file in here. I don't know. Hey man, the 3-hour MMA and wrestling shows tend to fill up a lot of space. Vimeo became a problem. Anyways, but not the problem everybody else has been having. I got my own Vimeo problems, but it's stuff I've caused. All right. Well, on that note, what time is it? How far in the show are we?
We at 5 minutes
show?
left. I do have a hard out.
You got a hard out at 8 o'clock. Anything else in the news you guys want to hit up, or just talk more about Dollywood? I feel like it was hardly. I feel like we barely scratched the surface of this Dollywood situation. And I have downloaded both the Cedar Point and the Hershey Park app, and I'm in trouble. I'm in so much trouble. So if anybody wants to go with me and ride roller coasters until my stomach gives out.
Does Cedar Point still have the demon drop?
Oh, well, maybe it does. I don't know.
I thought that went away.
Yeah, I feel like
that was one of my favorite rides as a kid to go in there.
Oh man, this is so cool. All the park maps that I want are right here. This is so good. Oh, they got Snoopy there. There, I can take my mom. There you go. Anyways, first Dollywood, then Snoopy Village or whatever, at that. What's that? Hold on. We have a resident roller coaster expert. What's that? What? It
used to be Berenstein Bears.
It was Berenstein. Berenstein
Oh, yeah.
Bears. Berenstein Bears.
Because the whole.
Yeah. No, like I grew up on the Berenstein Bears, and I swear it was not Berenstein Bears.
It was definitely Berenstein.
It was no.
Berenstein Bears? Yeah.
I don't know.
You go to
I
Iowa.
don't believe it. I don't believe it. Yes, but that's Cedar Point. You can find some video of Cedar Point from the 80s. Anyways, Chilla, thank you. Thank you for bracing you with your presence and your 4K video that I have locked down all the way to 720.
That's quite all right. I don't mind.
Matt Chilla on the tweets.
John's chill on the Facebooks.
We'll have you back next week, of course. The Dudders will be heading off to Texas. She did not come back from Nashville with cowgirl boots or a cowgirl hat.
There's time.
But you are going to Texas, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens there. And you don't got me. Well, not that I really stopped you from anything, but so have fun there. And be safe, of course. We are dealing around experimental vehicles with these shoots technically. So, and I know Potter's been talking about it too in the chat. Wait, there's a chat over here. But yeah, it's a pretty good time. But thank you. Next week we have a special guest that I will announce shortly. I believe. I don't want to misannounce it. But graphic artist is going to be at Three Rivers Comic-Con and does some great stuff. So stay tuned for that. And actually, we're getting some more guests. Do you like, and if your listeners, if you're a Patreoner, if you're on the Twitter or whatever, do you like it when we have guests? Like we had a great, the Rhinos, Renegade Rhinos, was it last week? And we learned about NFTs, and I still haven't.
And we destroyed them.
And we what?
We destroyed them. We started talking about them, and all of them.
Yeah, then all of the crypto dropped in the last week. So get your Rhinos now. Apparently, I'm still trying to figure out how to move stuff into my wallet. But anyways, but if you want to experiment with that, I really do it now while it's low. I presume it's still low. So, yeah, go check them out. Check out last week's episode. Show notes there with the link. Thank you, Ryan, for joining us last week for that. And like I say, we have some cool stuff coming up here in the near future too. So, Kate Dudders on the Twitter. Did we get your plugs or something? Yes.
Kate Ray PGH on Instagram.
There you go.
Come around.
There you go. She's got some. You check out her adventures this past week. Coming up, bathroom selfies at the airport, whatever the case. All that
Doing
stuff.
wearing fancy socks.
Absolutely. At Sorgatron on the Twitter for my adventures wherever I may be last week, next week, or when I find another me, apparently, at a theme park. So, thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.